This segment of Panther Sports Talk is brought to you by Lincoln Savings Bank. At home in Iowa, at work for you.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Talk as the UNI Panther football team prepares for the 2015 season with the season opener September 5th in Ames against the Iowa State Cyclones. Joined with UNI head football coach Mark Farley. Coach, you've had your hands on the guys for a few weeks now. Just kind of talk about how fall camp has gone so far.
We've actually made progress probably every day with the exception of maybe two. We had one day we were average, other days we were making progression. A lot of movement as far as getting the players in the right position, particularly early in camp, but now we're more solidified in a position so we can start to prepare for that first game. Learning
a new offense, some new coaches for the players to adjust to, new personnel for the coaches to adjust to. How has that gone through the summer, but more specifically this fall?
Well, through the summer, there was a lot of time spent as trying to get to know and get to understand what the purpose is, because it's all about the why and the purpose of when you're installing things and why you put people where they're at. And so we went through that this summer. Now we're applying and trying to get the execution where it needs to be, and thus there's still some changes that need to be made. And then when you see it for real, sometimes it just doesn't draw up quite like it plays out on the field. So when we get through that phase of it, we'll run with it. But very pleased with the progress of the coaches and as well as the players.
Coach, a lot of talk about that 4-horse race at quarterback. What do you like what you're seeing from those four guys?
Well, what came of it, we actually went into practice, and all four quarterbacks, we have 3 units. They just rotated, got their 4 plays, rolled, didn't matter what unit they were with. And what came of it is you start to see who can make the other 10 better. Whether you're playing with the third team or the first team will make you look good. Third team, you got to make them look good. So I think that really showed up where you start to separate some guys that way. So when we do put it in ones and ones and get the right quarterback with the first group, I think we'll progress quicker.
So that season opener September 5th, when do you start to narrow that process down? Go with 2 quarterbacks or hope to have your starter named?
Well, in this week, we're starting to narrow the process from 4 to 3, if not 2. And we're going to have to start leaning a little bit this week to see how they, sometimes you move a guy up, he gets better. Sometimes you move a guy down, he either gets worse or he really takes a challenge on and becomes great. So we're seeing how that transition of kind of creating a depth chart. Now there's a depth chart. How do they accept that and how do they move forward within that? And then next week we'll probably narrow the process down to 1 or 2.
Coach, you lost a lot of skill guys, wide receiver, running back from a year ago to graduation. Plenty of experience coming back, but a lot of talent in those spots.
Well, I feel comfortable in the fact that we have 3 quality running backs, Tyvis Smith, Savannah Huggins, and Tyvis Savant and Darian Miller. And all 3 bring a different quality to the backfield, and all 3 are exceptional running backs.
Defensively, what do you like about what you've seen from the defensive guys?
Well, defense, our secondary is strong, but that's one group. So we're really trying to develop that. Should someone go down, who's that third corner, who's the third safety, as well as developing the group of linebackers. That has to be brought along, and that's still behind. And then the defensive line is quality, but again, who is the next man in for them? Because to get through a season with just 2 defensive tackles is not going to happen. Who's the third tackle? So we're probably going to need 7 defensive linemen to be successful at the D-line. You need at least 5 defensive backs, if not 6, and then we got to find those 3 starting linebackers.
Is conditioning a little bit more of an emphasis with that faster tempoed offense?
I don't know if it's emphasized. It's just part of practice now. You go out there, you better be able to run in the first period as well as we'll run at the end of practice. And it probably took us maybe 5 to 6 days to end a practice because I script a lot, and we always had to quit practice early because they were shot. But then as we got into the 4th, 5th day, we started to complete the entire practice, and now we're getting done early and still running the same amount of plays.
All right, Coach, more with you coming up in just a little bit. We'll be back with more Panther Sports Talk right after this.